Okay, so let's say we want to look at our library foot traffic by time of day so we can figure out when the busiest times of day may be in our library. So let's open up our pivot table fields. I'm going to go to, I just clicked over here. I'm going to click on pivot table field list. And you see we currently have under rows we have month, and under values we have sum of traffic in. We're going to keep that sum of traffic in, but let's take out month. I'm just clicking on it and saying remove field, and let's bring time of day down. Okay, so what we see here is a column chart illustrating time of day using bars. And sometimes when we're looking at trends over time, a line graph may be your better bet. So there's a couple ways to change a chart type. You can just click in the chart area. You could go to up here, you could go to design and say change chart type and choose line. And I just selected OK. I'm going to undo. You could also just click in the chart area and click on this little plus sign for chart elements. Whoops, not that. Do over. I'm going to click in the chart area, right click. I'm going to say change chart type. And then that gets us back to the same menu where we can look at line. Now, if you recall when we were working on the bar chart in the previous example, we got rid of the grid lines and we got rid of the y-axis. But maybe in this case, it would be better to have them back. So I'll show you how to add these options back. You could do that under Design up here on the top, or you can just use this plus sign again. So let's see what it looks like by adding grid lines back in. If you wanted to see grid lines tighter together, you could select different options. But I think these grid lines will do. And it may also be helpful to put that y-axis back in. Let's just try and see what we think. Let's see. There it is under axes. And we want that vertical axis back in. I don't know if we need the y-axis or not. That probably depends on what your objective is. Also, maybe we do want to have a filter so we can look at a particular month. So let's go ahead and bring back up our field list. So I just went to Pivot Table Tools up here, Analyze, and Field List. So we can add in filters so that we can kind of drill down. So we can add in a filter for academic year. So I'm just clicking academic year and pulling it down to filters. In doing that, it gave us this option up here in the upper left corner of our chart area. So then we could, I just said select multiple items, or I could just look at 1 year. So we could look at 2016-17. It actually changed a little bit how it looked. Or I could look at 2017-18. Oh, that looks quite different. That is really interesting. So let's go ahead and leave that there for now. But maybe we want to look at month as well. So let's bring in a second filter for month, and I'm going to pull that down right under academic. So now let's say maybe we want to see what February of 2017-18 look like. Okay, looks like the trends in February stayed very much the same. Whoops, we had a whole bunch of things clicked. I'm going to redo that and say, oh, look at February. We must have had a winter storm or a break or something here in these days because there's no activity. Let's look at April. Okay, so April is a very typical month, and you can see at April, the busiest time of day was 12 noon. We can just click all of the months to have them all back in there. And then let's click on the academic year and have both years in there too. It's interesting to see how things change month by month. So again, if I wanted to put this into my PowerPoint, oops, I see before we move forward, I need to change this, and we could say that 12 noon and 3 p.m. are the busiest times in the library. And then I'm going to go ahead and copy this into my PowerPoint. So there's one slide. I'm going to add a new blank slide. And I'm just going to right click to paste and embed. And then I could format my sizing however I wish. Make things a little bigger since we are working in a presentation. And I would probably include a caption somewhere that says this is for 2016-17 and 2017-18 academic year. So very much like playing with pivot chart fields, playing with different formatting for your charts and graphs can be a lot of fun and reveal trends that you may not have realized were there had you just looked at your data tables.